What are we talking about this week, my friend?
This week, we're going to talk about comparison and competition. Competition versus comparison. Blah, blah, blah. No. So in the past, we've spoke about comparison being the theft of joy, and how we shouldn't necessarily do so much comparison personally. Yeah. And now, while we still stand by that, we think that's absolutely key, because you do need to focus on you and do your own thing. However, there's times when actually it can be really powerful and really useful.
Absolutely. Offering
you services, etc., or even like someone wanting to be your mentor. You just compare them, see if they can give you what you need properly. Like, if they can't, no good to you. Like, no money lost, don't go near them.
Yeah.
And it's just about that. You use the power of comparison, and like hopefully they have a bit of competition. We are finding success, and we're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your own version of success. Welcome back to another episode with me, Alex,
and me, Adam. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
Good, man. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful, minus the English weather. Because, well, we're getting end of March, early April now. I thought it'd be sunny, but it isn't. It's rubbish.
It's really, it's cold, isn't it?
And I want to go ride my bike.
Well, you can ride your bike.
It's freezing.
Just get
riding this weather.
No,
I ain't
gloves.
doing it. So, apart from that, mate, week's been good. I've been progressing nicely. I've looked at a few companies I'd like to invest in. Mate, I've been struggling to get on the Abu Dhabi Dubai exchange at the moment. Rubbish.
Oh yeah, talk to me. This is when you talk about
this
EMAR.
Is awful. It's disgusting.
What do you mean you're struggling to get onto it?
So to get onto the Dubai Stock Exchange, you have to register, which is fine. That's easy enough. You register it saying you want to buy stocks and stuff, and then you have to go and approach a broker. So you can't just go and approach a broker and then buy through them. You have to register on the main stock exchange first, and then go to a broker
as an investor on the stock exchange, and then go to a broker to then be able to buy.
Yeah, exactly. But these registering within the broker is quite hard. It's like you have to say national insurance number, photo ID, paycheck, passport, driving license, national insurance, how much money you're going to invest, where's your money coming from, where do you live, how many toes you got. I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on, right? And then so I went all that, passed it all, got the account, and then they've given me two accounts. One's for international market and one's for national market. I'm like, well, hang on a minute. I've just registered with the Dubai national market, so I should only need one code. And then I tried logging in, won't log in. And I've emailed them like, oh, try this, try that. It won't. And they're just bad customer service. So now I have to go to another broker. Just try and do another thing. I have to do it all over again because I'm fed up with that broker already. They won't even help me. Boring.
Really?
Honestly, when you're investing in companies, please find yourself a good broker.
Oh, amen.
And like, fill out all the stuff, and you can do some research on brokers. And I actually done a lot of research on this broker, and I thought they'd be really, really good, but they are just a pain in the arse.
Customer service is a huge thing.
It is,
people overlook. They look at the ability to buy, the market share they have, the amount of liquidity they have, how safe they are, how reliable they are. No one thinks about customer service.
I'm telling you, mate, this broker's pain in the arse. So now I need to go to another broker to try and redo that process all over again. Just painful.
Interesting.
But apart from that, and you never guess what?
Go on.
Bloody thing's gone up 21%.
Bosh. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about I've bought something else now, and I told you about that. My other investment.
Oh, yeah. What about Saudi? Did you look into getting into Saudi?
I didn't look into the Saudi market, no, but I presume it's going to be very, very similar.
It must be, mustn't it?
Because also the countries are quite close, so I guess they're very, very similar countries, probably very similar rules. Yeah. It's just a pain in the bum, really.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I thought you would just go to a broker in the UK, and some brokers would offer shares that could buy abroad, but they don't. From what my broker and speaking to a few other brokers, they don't do that. So it's a bit hard.
That's an advantage that the Americans have, is that they've opened it up to the world. So brokers from major countries or major economies can buy into their...
Absolutely. See, all you need to do, if you're in the UK and you're buying American stocks, all you need to do is register on a W-8 Ben form, and that's just to say that you're a UK taxpayer. And as simple as that, then you can go and buy US stocks. It's so easy. I don't know why everyone else... And I thought that being in that growing, emerging market that Dubai would be really easy to get in hold of. At the moment, it's not. For me, anyway. Someone else, if anyone else has got any experience with that, hit me up, let me know. And give me some feedback.
Maybe they don't want the volatility that retail investors bring to the market.
Maybe not, but then again, that it does say, "Are you a retail investor?" And then this is how long you've been a retail investor for and stuff. So they kind of like they're inviting it.
Yeah.
It's just quite a hard way of getting into it, man. But how was your week anyway?
It was good, much better than last week.
Good.
Rested, focused, getting after it. Used visualization, used journaling, used planning. Smashing it. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Those shout out to those who listened last week knew what I'm on about. Whoa. Illuminati.
What are we talking about this week, my friend?
This week, we're going to talk about comparison and competition. Competition versus comparison. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So in the past, we've spoke about comparison being the theft of joy, and how we shouldn't necessarily do so much comparison personally. Yeah. And now, while we still stand by that, we think that's absolutely key, because you do need to focus on you and do your own thing. However, there's times when actually it can be really powerful and really useful.
Absolutely.
Give us some examples.
So I was thinking about this the other day, and a friend of mine had an Android crappy phone. Sorry, Android. But obviously I run an iPhone. Have done and will do for the foreseeable future until I'm an avid stock buyer of Apple. So I just love Apple stuff, and I use the products, and I really am behind the company. But I was like, well, what's difference? What is the difference between an Apple and an Android? How does it differ? Where does it differ? And we didn't really have this conversation. It was just in my head. And I was thinking, back in the day, or in current day, for instance, you have companies that have these, what are they called now? I can't remember what it was. Apple bought out the new Vision Pro thing. But obviously Meta was one of the companies that were looking into it. There's a few other different company names that we're into. I can't remember what their names are now. But I was thinking, headset thing, yeah. What are they called?
Bloody goggles that
I can't remember what it's called.
Out with Oculus and VR headsets.
VR, that's it. VR headsets. That's it. Wow. We said the name 2 minutes ago. Yeah. But there's so many companies now that are getting involved in that, and like even Disney, I think, are making like a floor that you can walk on. When you put a headset
I've seen. That's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah. But I'm just like, remember when you're in school and you kind of like growing up, you think, I need to invent this all new product to become a wealthy person, or I need to compete. And so because the market isn't saturated, I need to make a new product that the world has never seen before and bring it out and show the world that I've made this awesome thing, and it's going to be revolutionary and it's going to change people's lives. Well, in that case, it's not really true, is it? How many table makers do you think there are? There's not just one oak table maker. There is thousands. Laptop makers, there's all different types of brands, phones, lights, stands. There's all these different companies that are making all these different things, and some are very, very similar. But the reason that you buy the product is because, number one, the way it's marketed, but number two, it suits you and the price it is, right? So they've compared themselves to other different people. They've said, okay, I like this product, but I think if I add a foam handle here, it's just a bit more comfortable to use. Its ease of use is a lot easier. Let's go and design a product, make it, and then we'll sell it to the nation. There's nothing revolutionary about the stand that they use. It's still got 3 legs. It still extends. It's still got a phone holder. It's just the way that they're marketing it and the way they've been compared to, and the company has compared each other. They're like, right, well, you can do this better. Let's make it work. And even if it's in a very saturated market, they've made it a better product just by refining it a little bit, making it simpler, making it easier to use, and going and selling it. When Apple started bringing out the SE, so the little small iPhones they had, you had like the 13, I think it was 12 Pro and stuff. They've got these big phones. And my grandparents or my friend's grandparents, they just wanted a really simple, easy, small phone because they're used to the Nokia 3310s and stuff. Small little phone they could slip in their pocket and use day in, day out with a long battery life. And Apple filled that market with a little SE. So it was like an iPhone 7. Little boxy, yeah, but a bit better battery life. Really, really simple for older people to use that weren't very technology savvy. And they just brought this phone out, and believe it or not, they sold a hell of a lot to the older generation because people don't want a big bulky phone with 4 cameras on it that can do the flash and do all this sort of snazzy stuff. They just want a phone that can still make calls that will last their time, but keep up with everyone else. And you can use iMessage, you can use all this different stuff, emails. So yeah, you can keep up with everyone else, but it's just a small, simple product that you can use. So comparison, when we're comparing, different companies, that was wrong, different companies to each other is actually quite a good competition, right? when you look at racing teams, they did the same sort of thing, right? They look at different cars. Oh, how can we make that better? Let's go and compare our car. Oh, well, they've done this better. Let's go and take that design and incorporate it into ours. Same with phones, same with cameras, same with lights and stuff. So I think it's really important to compare what you're doing as a business to someone else's business and take takeaways. Take those things that they're doing good and incorporate them into your business and then run with it.
Absolutely. Going back to your comparisons of companies, Hoover, the original, one of the original vacuum cleaner brands, was dominating the market to the point where everyone called a vacuum cleaner Hoover because it was just like the known thing. Almost world domination. It's a bit like, you've got your iPhone with you. People just say that to people with Androids. You got your iPhone. It's a similar sort of thing. You got your smartphone. Hoover became the known for that product, and Dyson came along and go, do you know what? I'm going to tweak that, make that better, and made billions and billions and billions off the top of that. And now Shark are coming along to Dyson and making even more money on them because they're going for a slightly small, compact version, more efficiency and lightweight. And it's just because someone's absolutely dominating the market to the point where the market is now almost named after them doesn't mean you can come in and not dominate and take over as well. So never ever be afraid to get into a saturated market just because it's busy. Doesn't mean there's not more room for market share or for you to take that market share off others. And that's why you should always pushing like mad. Just whatever you're doing, if it's happy and making you do the right thing, you need to keep on doing it. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. Going back to Apple as well, Steve Jobs was once asked about his product. I think the latest Samsung or something had much better technology, like much better quality camera zoom, much faster processors, all this sort of stuff. And he goes, well, maybe, but we've gone for the ease of use, the simplicity of touchscreen and all this sort of stuff. And he just said, we don't need to be the most technologically advanced mobile phone there is. It doesn't need to be a supercomputer that can run the International Space Station. It needs to be perfect for the user, the end user. And that's what they went for, and look how popular it is. Yeah. And this was early days. This was in the iPhone 3, iPhone 4, iPhone 5 sort of period, where Samsung were making good quality phones with a lot of good technology. And I think they still are ahead of iPhone or Apple in the technology race. They're we're always a phone, or Apple is always a phone behind in the technology race. Yeah. And it's never perfect in sales. I see more iPhones than ever before, and Samsungs are just every now and then, Yeah. And it just proves you don't always need to be the best of the best. You just need to be good for the end user. That's the goal. So use that as your goal.
Trajectory.
Don't necessarily get hooked up on being the best of the best. Use your competitors as not waymarkers, but sort of guides. But do your own thing still. Use them, compare yourself to them, and then just stick to your own route, stick to your own branding, your own goals, etc.
The thing is, again, when a new company comes on the scene, I think they have these questions they have to ask themselves, right? And the reason is, what sets us different from the crowd? What makes us different? Why are people going to buy this iPhone? Why over this Samsung? And the reason that we all know now is because, yes, Samsung might be ahead of technology, as in they've got the latest and greatest, 3D printed thing, touchable screen that's actually not a screen. But it always is a bit janky. It's never that smooth. And then when you pick an iPhone up, everything is so smooth. It all works. It's quick. It's easy. It's just seamless, right? So that's why people go to Apple over Samsung, because it's just a seamless product. What I'm saying is, you find your reason why people are going to come to you, and you answer that question, and that's how you market it. And the only way you can do that is by comparing. You go, right, well, they're offering this, but in reality, that is something that I don't want because I don't like the product, and I don't really think that everyone else will. But if I do this, I think everyone else will like this product because X, Y, Z. And then you run with it and you go with it. Again, oversaturated market isn't really a thing. It never really is a thing. I mean, there's 8,356 companies, I think I looked this morning, on TradingView stock screener.
Oh, yeah.
So what makes you buy Apple over the 8,355 other companies, right? Because they're Apple. What makes you buy PayPal over Venmo or whatever it is? Because it's PayPal. What makes you buy BP over Shell? Well, because it's BP. It's not Shell. So that every single company, even though they look the same on the surface, it's an old company and they sell petrol in the UK and they're very well known. They've all got their own little different things going on. BP's got wild bean and Shell's got something else, or doesn't have a coffee, or Costa or whatever. Yeah. There's always these little things that the reason that you go to that is because people enjoy that coffee or that fuel or that. There's always something different. There's never two things that are the same. And even if you think there are, there's always going to be a small difference. And that is why those companies exist, because they've compared to other companies that are in the market and have just tweaked the little bit, but they're still earning just as much money, if not more, than the company that was invented first or found first. It's like back in the day when we spoke about Warren Buffett. I think it was 2021 when he done his annual gathering meeting. And he spoke about, right, look at these companies. 1980s, all these companies were based in Japan. Or the top 10 world's biggest companies were, 8 of them were in Japan and 2 were in America. Now it's the other way around, right? It's like probably 10 in America and none in Japan, right?
Yeah, it was.
So it will never last forever. And you have to remember that. That's why you always compare, because we always have to evolve and grow. It's quite, but I love doing that sort of research on stuff. I love having a look at that and sort of figuring out where it can be, right?
Yeah, I get it. Out of that. It's good. I have a question.
Oh, go on. Ask me.
So we've talked about comparison, like, from our point of view. So comparing ourselves against other companies, other businesses.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about, we touched on it again, I think it was literally earlier in the conversation, like the very first thing, we're talking about brokers. Mm-hmm. How important is it to compare those? Like when you're looking into, like, ask yourselves, the listeners at home, when you go to buy a new laptop, what do? You compare. You have
a look around and you should run for the best deal or whatever. Yeah.
You know, how what's the question? I've sort of answered it myself. That's a bit annoying.
How do you find the best broker for you?
How would you go about finding anything, the best of anything? Talk to me about laptops. Okay, do
if that's all right. So
you do.
With brokers, right?
And the importance of the comparison between them.
The thing is with brokers is whether you're investing in certain markets, you have to understand what the broker is there for. Now, remember, it's the same with laptops. I'll go in and out, right? A laptop, say if you want to use it as editing, you want a clean, seamless laptop that is there for you, has power there, has a good memory, has quick response time, high processing, so you can pick videos and it will upload nice and quickly. With brokers, it's the same. There's no point investing or starting a broker with FXCM, which is a Forex broker, that wanting to buy crypto. They don't offer crypto, so what's the point of going with FXCM? There is no point. It's the same. If you want a high processing laptop, there's no point going to buy a Lenovo because they're like a work-based laptop. You're better off going to buy a Mac because they're high processing speed, solid state drive, so it's quick response time. So you have to remember, first of all, you have to write down what you want.
Nice.
Figure out what you want, what you need it for, what's the reason behind it. Same with phones, same with laptops, same with brokers. What do you need it for? I want to invest in crypto, I want to invest in stocks, or I want to invest in Forex. Okay, so what broker offers those things? Well, FXCM, Saxo, and Johnny Davidson Markets.com. Just wrote that's a fake one, obviously. But so you go there and you think, right, okay, Johnny Davidson Markets.com offer all these things for me. Their response time is very good. Their spreads, which means obviously the gap between the buy and the ask, or the sell, sorry, is there. It's available. It's quite small. They're very, very core. They're fixed in those rates. The customer service is amazing. I've emailed them to ask them all these questions. They've come back to me within the hour, 2 hours, 4 hours a day max. I've called them up. I've asked them, what's a market time like? How much money do I have to deposit? Is minimum, maximum? Are you going to help me with tax implications? What about buying and selling markets abroad? They're there. The customer service is impeccable. I want to go for that market. You do the same, that company. You do the same with FXCM. They only offer Forex markets. The customer service is crap. They don't want to know. They don't want to help me with tax forms or anything like that and benefits, and they're trying to scam me out of paying high commission. Well, I'm not going to go there. But you have to do the research in doing those certain things. And it's the same with what companies do when making a product. They do the research because they need to figure out where their market needs to be.
Absolutely. That's where comparisons and competitiveness is like in your favour. Companies being competitive with each other.
What about you?
Huh?
What about you?
What about me?
What your own question to you? Your question back to you. How would you figure out what to go for?
No, I would find out what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm not a whiz kid with computers. I need to find out what I need it for, what side of computers I need. Like you said, Lenovo are good for work-based, and then the Apples are good for processing and stuff.
Yeah. I
need to find out exactly what I need, what that need, what can be, how to solve that need.
Yeah.
And I need to look whatever that is that solves it. I need to look for those and then compare those particular components for laptops, etc. Whether it be even brokers as well. What do I need from my broker? And then compare them all myself. Again, it's just like we say when we're doing a stock or looking into a stock.
The
amount of research we do into a stock is massive, isn't it? And then we could just go, actually, no, we don't want to go near it. And just go, that's you're not lost any money. Fantastic. It's a good way to do it. But it's the same with buying everything. Buying cars, you do the same with buying cars. And actually, cars are a little different, aren't they? Because sometimes you buy them off passion and love and looks and all that sort of stuff.
But stuff like mentors.
Mentors, absolutely, exactly the same. You want if you've got a group of them that are offering you services, etc., or even like someone wanting to be your mentor, you just compare them, see if they can give you what you need properly. Like, if they can't, no good to you. Like, no money lost, don't go near them. And it's just about that. You use the power of comparison, and like hopefully they have a bit of competition within the market themselves, and you just fucking.
So wrap up real quick. Go on. So comparison between companies, good or bad?
Yeah, good.
Comparison between human beings, good or bad? As in Johnny Davidson to Davidson Donny.
No, focus on yourself.
Okay, good. And what about competition?
Needed.
In companies.
Necessary.
In companies.
Between companies or like?
Yeah, between companies for now. Competition.
Yeah.
And what about between people?
Between necessary.
Absolutely.
Needed. Cannot survive without
it. Yeah. Why?
Doggy dog world. You need. If you can't, if you're not competitive, you're not going to go anywhere. If you've not got a little bit of drive in you, you're going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you need something in you.
The kids' sports day, right?
Exactly.
No, not everyone's a winner.
No, exactly.
They shouldn't be.
And that's it really shouldn't be.
Some of UFC, two fighters don't win. There's always one that wins, right?
Only one person walks out with that
world championship.
Bosh. Same with business.
Business is the biggest one.
All right, Apple's smashing it, but Samsung still make a fortune. So like, it's different. But individually, as individuals, you need to be a savage. You need to be an absolute dog and be competitive as well.
Get off the right.
Especially, I think that's because we come from a sporting background.
Yeah.
So we have a bias towards being competitive. So that sort of, how is it? That pushes us on.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if you think about someone like Elon Musk, he won't necessarily have a massively competitive background.
Yeah.
So what drives him? You know what I mean? It's whatever. I guess it's whatever works for you. Us being sporting background, it gets us going.
Competitive is there.
Yeah.
We need that competitivity. Anything to add?
No.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, links will be down below. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. Helps podcast get this, waking up the world. Take care, guys. Go and smash the week, and we will see you next time.